Like if you take dough and it's wet, right? And you slam it really hard and it just becomes flat. Right? This idea is what Allah is describing is going to happen to the entire earth. So the ups and downs of the earth disappear. Other places in the Quran, Allah will describe this as إِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ, when the earth is going to be stretched flat. Right? But here, or when the oceans are boiling over. Or in Surah Al-Kahf, he describes this as sa'idan juruza, flat land, and slippery land. But here he describes it will be slammed down and laid flat. Now, the idea of something being laid flat means it's a surface that's being prepared. Why is the earth being turned into this flat surface? As we see the ayat progress, we're going to see this scene open up. He says, فَيَوْمَئِذٍ وَقَعَتِ الْوَاقِعَةِ. On that day, the actual event will have taken place. Now, he already said al-haqqa, now he's saying al-waqi'ah. But al-waqi'ah is a really interesting word because it comes from waqi', and waqi' means a heavy weight. It means a heavy weight. So Allah is saying, on that day, the heavy weight shall be dropped. And that's an expression to describe the ultimate reality will happen. Because when something is real, it's weighty, it's serious, it has substance. And when something is not real, it's weightless, it's empty. So Allah says that's when the true weight will be dropped, or that's when the ultimate reality will fall. وَانْشَقَّتِ السَّمَاءُ. So this is what was happening on the earth. The earth has been made flat. Then Allah says, وَانْشَقَّتِ السَّمَاءُ. Then the sky is going to be ripped open. The word inshiqaq is used if you have a cloth and you tear it in the middle, and you get this slit in the middle, right? That's called inshiqaq, right? So Allah uses that word to describe what's happening with the sky. وَانْشَقَّتِ السَّمَاءُ فَإِذَا هِيَ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاهِيَةٌ. Then on that day it just starts opening up. And وَالْمَلَكُ عَلَىٰ أَرْجَائِهَا. And so as the sky starts opening up and tearing this opening starts coming, then Allah says the angels, and perhaps starting with Jibreel alayhi salam, because it's used in the singular, but it's ismu jins, it includes everyone, the angels are going to start lining up in the opening. Now I want you to appreciate what's happening here. In ancient times, when armies used to conquer, the ancient cities used to be gated up by giant walls, and they had giant gates, and they put lots of fortifications on the gates, because the enemy cannot come through the wall, the enemy is going to have to come through the gates. And when they open, if the gate gets broken and the gate gets opened up, that means that city has been conquered. And once that city is conquered, the new army, the invading army, they line up around the gate to welcome the general, to welcome the conquering king. You're getting prepared for the conquest, right? And it's the scene that's being borrowed in the language of these ayat, in that first the land was made flat. Then the sky was torn open. Now what's the idea of the sky torn open? Some of you that are students of science, or even kids that are studying science, know the sky is empty space. It's void. What do you mean the sky is torn open? Allah is describing what easily you can understand as dimensions. There's the seen dimension in which you and I can see each other and we think this is real. But in this very moment, there are angels in our presence. In this very moment, there are kiram and katibin, noble angels that are documenting everything in a script. In a book that is it's not even written in ink, it's kitabul marqum, it's being stitched into the pages. What's going to happen? On Judgment Day, فَكَشَفْنَا عَنْكَ غِطَاءَكَ, like in Surah Qaf, he says, we've lifted the cover. We've lifted the cover from you. So there is a cover on my eyes right now, which keeps me from being able to see the unseen. The same way, when you go to a doctor and they're doing an x-ray, through the x-ray machine, they can see something you cannot see right now. Allah is now saying that the curtain of the unseen is being torn open. And what's on the other side of that unseen? It's the angels. It's the unseen world. And they start coming through into the seen world. So now for the first time, human beings can see the angels on Judgment Day. And this gate that's been opened, that's been torn open, the angels, Allah describes, they start lining up all around the sides of this gate, on its corners. وَالْمَلَكُ عَلَىٰ أَرْجَائِهَا وَيَحْمِلُ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةً. And the arsh, the throne of your Rabb, is going to be carried on that day by 8. Allah doesn't say what the 8 is. The Mufassirun would discuss these are 8 special angels that are assigned to carry the throne, or some version of the throne of Allah that will be brought down just to let human beings see the king's judgment is about to begin. Because in old times, what the symbolism was important, because kings would be carried by guards on a kind of pseudo throne, because the ultimate throne is somewhere else, but this is a portable kind of throne that's being brought just for this special event of Judgment Day. Even if the king's not even in it yet, the throne is being brought. So يَحْمِلُ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةٍ. The armies have opened up the gate, the throne is being brought down by 8. Now, are these 8 angels? Are these 8 other creations of Allah that Allah has described? Are they, Ali radiallahu anhu and other Sahaba said, is it 8? Is it 8,000? Is it 8 legions? Is it, ma hiya hadhihi thaman? We don't know what these 8 are. And that's something Allah didn't tell us. So He says, يَوْمَ إِذٍ تُعْرَضُونَ. So why is all of this happening? Why is the earth being slammed flat? Why is the sky being torn open? Why are the angels showing up all of a sudden? Why is the throne arriving? Why is all of this happening? Allah says, يَوْمَ إِذٍ تُعْرَضُونَ. The day on which you will all, He's talking to me, He's talking to you. You will all will be brought for presentation. تُعْرَضُونَ لَا تَخْفَى مِنْكُمْ خَافِيَةٌ. Nothing that had ever been hidden will be hidden from you today. So you notice something. Really big things were happening, and all of a sudden, the really small thing that was hidden from the entire world, nobody knew except you and me, the things that I said, the things that I did, the intentions that I had. Even if people saw my actions, they didn't see my intentions. They were hidden. Even the intentions, even before everybody's praying here, everybody's sitting in Salatul Jum'ah here, but our intentions may be different. It may be that somebody has a different, and you can't see that. There's no way for you to see. It's hidden. And on that day, nothing hidden will remain hidden. Nothing gets remain hidden. And some Sahaba looked at this ayah and said, that's because even human beings won't even have clothes on that day. Nobody will care. Because Allah will expose not only people's deeds, but expose them. You know? So, la takhfa minkum khafiya. Now, it's as if this huge event where the skies and the earth got rearranged, re-engineered. The entire purpose of it was you and me. The entire purpose of it was you and I have to stand in front of Allah and show up for this trial. This is all preparation for the event.